What up, my Endobians? What's up with you? Today, the subject will be, I'll start with what the ego is and the history of the ego. What the ego causes to happen in your life. And I'm going to also talk about how to overcome the ego. Now, I want to start with saying, let me see. Okay, so everybody, if you ever read the Bible, I'm sure you remember in the Bible where it was talked about when Satan turned against the Most High and wanted to separate himself from God. Excuse me. Now, first of all, y'all, so we got to think about what is God exactly. Now, my take on God is unconditional love. And unconditional love is everything. God is everything and everyone. So, God is unconditional love. Okay, so unconditional love to me means to see everything and everyone for who it truly is, which is God. That means everything and everyone is infinite. So if everything and everyone is infinite, that means we are unlimited in our possibilities, just like God himself is. So when Satan and his angels turned against God and separated themselves from God, supposedly, they turned against unconditional love, and they put limitations on they self. Whereas before they could do all things, now they can only do certain things. So that's what the ego is to me. When you separate yourself from God, you see yourself as separate from everybody and everything else. So because you're not living in truth, when you see yourself as separate from everything and everybody, you put limitations on yourself. Now just think about something that is something that has no limit. You can't even wrap your mind around something that has no limit, let alone wrap your hand around something that has no limit. So what I'm trying to say is, when you are in the state of ego, you are in essence making it to where somebody is able to wrap their mind around you. Somebody is able to wrap their hand around you and take control of you. You become instead of being the overcomer of all things, you become a victim to all things. It becomes like where things are happening to you and you are not creating them. So that's the history of what the ego is. Satan started that, supposedly, the energy of Satan, which I think is the ego, and he's not a being outside yourself. He's just the person inside of you when you call yourself separating yourself from the Most High. And once you do that, you get to an area in your existence where you're becoming a victim to things. And like I was telling this girl yesterday on Facebook, I was talking to her in my inbox, and I asked her, does she believe that Satan is an actual person? And she said, yeah. And I said, well, I don't, because think about it. If God represents the truth and God represents the light, then what does the light represent? The light represents truth. So if the devil is the opposite of God and he represents the darkness, then what does the darkness represent? It represents things that are not true, false beliefs. So if you are something that is not true, if I came up with a story that's not true, like say right now I'm doing this video in the park in Arizona. Now what if I told you I was doing this on planet Jupiter? That would not be true, right? So does it really exist? Does that really happening exist? No, it doesn't, because it's not true. It can exist some other time, but not right now, because right now I'm in Arizona. So if something is not true, it doesn't exist. So that's why they tell you in church that Satan is a lie, because he doesn't exist. He is the opposite of truth. So with that being said, if he's the opposite of truth and he represents darkness, that means that he has no power at all. But people fall victim to Satan, the energy of that, because they are not in a state of unconditional love. That's all human beings, all beings everywhere. Original state is a state of unconditional love, where you see yourself as all things and all people. So when you slowly come out of that state, as you grow up, now you are playing on Satan's playing field. And I'm not saying that he's real, but you give him power in your life because you are no longer an unlimited being. So because you're not an unlimited being, no more people are allowed to torment you. Folks are allowed to put restraints on you. People are allowed to put rules and regulations on you. And that's what the ego does to you. So that's the history of the ego. What the ego is. It's the same thing they were talking about in the Bible when they said Satan separated himself from God. And I also want to say unconditional love is the way to defeat Satan. Because having unconditional love for somebody who stays in a constant state of hatred is always going to defeat them. Because even Satan himself has that little spark of divine essence within him, because that's where he came from. He can't help it. So when he comes to you with hate, with hatred, and you see him with unconditional love and see him as who he truly is, he's going to get away from you, because it's almost like somebody who's trying to get rid of cancer or AIDS. Imagine somebody trying to get rid of cancer, right? And somebody brings them a bottle of cancer to drink. They could be like, nah, nigga, get that up out my face, nigga, before I slap you, nigga. You feel me? You feel me? That's how they're going to be acting, because they're going to be like, this nigga trying to kill me. But that's the same way Satan is, because he wants to be separated from God so bad. But he can't be, because God is all things. If you're going to exist, you have to be part of God. So once you show him that unconditional love and start seeing him as part of you, he must flee. Because it's like you're growing that seed of unconditional love within him. And although that's who he is, he doesn't want to be that. He constantly fights against that. So that's within yourself. When you want to be out here and be like, oh, this dude is black, this dude is white, this dude is fat, this dude is, and acting like you're superior to others, what you're doing is separating yourself from all. And it's just that easy. You can be in a state of unconditional love right now, and then you see somebody who you don't like, and you pull back and say, he's separate from me because I'm better than him. And guess what? Now he done took away your power. He done took away your power, because he's getting you to believe that you are somebody else than who you really are. So, with that being said, I'm going to go on now to what the ego does in your life when you don't tame it. Now, you need your ego for some things, I've heard, but at the same time, I kind of don't believe that. But I don't really know, because I mean, I think you do need it. Because in order for there to be something exist, there got to be the opposite of what doesn't exist. But you just have to be control, be the overcomer, the controller of those things. You get what I'm saying? If you have your ego within you, which is your lower self, in order to rise above that, you have to let your divine essence shine more powerfully than that to rise above that. But at the same time, I don't know, because if somebody is infinite and unconditional love, then there wouldn't be room for nothing to not exist. All you would exist, and would be is just existing, and you say, I am. So anyway, that's something y'all need to think about on your own. I don't have all the answers. I'm still looking myself, but that's what I know. So anyway, I'm going to go on to what the ego does in your life. Now, what the ego does in your life is destroys your life any way it can by separating you from your true self. This causes so much problems. Cause like I'm gonna give you an example. So earlier I was in the car with my mom, and I had bought some new items, and we went to go wash the car. And I told my mom, leave my stuff where it's at. Don't touch my stuff. I'm gonna get it because I like to know where all my things are. I don't like when folks put my things up and then I have to ask them where my stuff is when I could just simply put it up myself and know where it's at. So I told her to leave it alone, but because she wanted to be egotistical, she wanted to make sure that she got it because she didn't want her son to be telling her what to do. So she went and moved all this stuff. Now, because I didn't know where she had put it, when I went to go clean the car out, I threw my stuff in the trash. So we went to the Culver's restaurant, and so as soon as we got there, I pulled out my cell phone to charge it and my portable cell phone charger, and I couldn't find my charger to my cell phone charger. Why? Because I had thrown my stuff in the trash at the freaking car wash. So now we had to get all the way back up, go all the way back to the car wash, dig in the trash, and find my items. See? And then by the time we got back, everybody was frustrated and upset, and we didn't have as good of a time as we would have had prior to that. Before we went in Culver's, we prayed and everything, and it was just good vibes, a good day. We had a good day. But when we went in this time, we were irritated. See what I'm saying? So you ruin beautiful times in your life being egotistical, always trying to separate yourself from somebody, trying to feel superior to somebody. That's all it is. Ego's living a lie like you aren't part of the whole creation, that you are here by yourself and creation is over here. That's not true. You are one with all things. And I'll give you another example about myself. So there's a lot of racist people in Arizona, and when they get racist with me, I think to myself, man, how is these niggas going to try to get racist with me when you from the Caucasus Mountains, when y'all you used to have sex with dogs in the Caucasus Mountains and stuff, and you over here looking at me all stupid like something's wrong with me. If anything's wrong with us, it's because you brought us over here from Africa in the first place. We didn't ask to be brought over here. I wish I could go back home. You know what I'm saying? So I'm separating myself from them and making myself feel superior to them in order to fight against their racism. But see, that's not doing me any good, because now I've separated myself from my infinite potential, my infinite power. And I need to stop doing that. So that's another example. Now, I keep saying this in my videos, and you people think there is some type of cliche term or something. Bob Marley said it. Jesus said it. Buddha said it. Many people have said it. If somebody was holding a sign up right now that said the same thing I'm about to say, everybody would walk past it and pay it no mind, because you think it's cliche and think it's a game. You think folks are just saying it to sound cute, but I'm for real. The way to overcome your lower self or your ego is through what? Unconditional love, man. That's the way. It's real simple. I had this one dude on my Facebook who I made a group with who was trying to sneak diss me on his Facebook post because I was in the group and I told them they need to simplify everything and not make it so complicated. And he made a post talking about how simple-minded people don't like educated people because they're smarter than us, and we don't like the fact that they're smarter than us. Something like that. But just because you simple don't mean you're not smart. Check out Bruce Lee. That was his main teaching, was simplicity. He made Jeet Kune Do through taking all the martial arts that he went through and simplifying them. He would make a punch that is complicated like this, going all around like this. He may go straight forward like this. Every move, he would make it more simple to do and more quicker to get to the destination, so that first of all, it's easier to remember it, and second of all, so it's quicker to do. While that person is sitting up thinking about what to do because they made it so complicated in order to feed their ego, you are doing something simple and beating them to the punch. Literally. So my point when I told them to be simple was because God is simple. A lot of y'all out here are trying to make everything so complicated and make it seem like everything has to be so complicated to understand because you want it to be complicated so you can look like you know something. But I'm telling you, the further you go on your spiritual path, the more you will see how simple it is. All it takes is love, man. All we need is unconditional love. That's how I'm able to walk around and just be in sync with the earth. Because when I'm in a state of unconditional love, it's like that because I am one with all. So I always have the food I need to eat. I always have the drink I need to drink. I always have everything that I need to have. Whether or not I feel like I do or not, I know I always have it because I look back on the years past and when I used to cry and be upset about stuff I didn't have, but now I see that I had everything that I needed. And that's how you will be taken care of on this earth, is to be in a state of constant unconditional love. That's how you're going to overcome your lower self, is to be in a state of constant unconditional love, man. That's what it's all about. That's all that I can tell you. Unconditional love has been who you truly are, the infinite potential that you have within yourself. You aren't limited, you are infinite. That's why I don't care about all these different countries and they say this country is this country. I go wherever I want to because it's all one thing, man. It's all one thing. So that's the way to overcome your lower self or your ego, is through unconditional love. Because then, like I said, Satan represents that ego, that lower self. So once you show them that unconditional love, they're going to step back because they don't want to be hearing all that. They're going to step back, and as soon as you come around them, they're going to be afraid. Think about it. They are fear itself. Ego and Satan is fear itself. So they be scared. They be more scared than everybody else. And they think that you're going to kill them with your life. Hey, but please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. You feel me? So because of that, that's how you tame your lower self, with the unconditional love, that light through your unconditional love. And that's how you overcome your ego and your lower self. And one last thing I want to say before I go is, a lot of people talk about folks catching the Holy Ghost in church, but here's my take on it. And I really feel this really in my heart. Because if anybody has really been their higher self, which I have before, man, I'm telling you, it feels amazing. It's better than any drug that you ever had. Heroin, crack, weed. I mean, I haven't tried all them things, but I'm pretty sure it's better than all that. Man, I'm telling you. This was back when I was in Columbus, Ohio. This happened on 2 occasions. The first one, I really don't remember it because the second one outdid it so much. And I don't know, but I know it happened twice. Wait. Anyway, I'm going to just tell you so I don't waste time. The one I remember the most is when I was at my mom's job. I smoked a little herb. I smoked some trees, and all of a sudden, man, I just felt this great confidence, man. I just was so confident in myself. I didn't care what nobody thought, man. I didn't care what nobody thought. And I'm not saying this in an egotistical way, but I was just in a state of unconditional love. I knew they was part of me, so it didn't even matter. It didn't even matter that it didn't matter, and wasn't in nobody judging me. The people who I were around, I believe they're able to see auras and stuff. Because every day when I walk past them, they all say hello. It was a group of probably like 5 to 10 people, all Mexicans. And I walked past this time, and they just all turned around and stared at me like this. And that's because I think I had so much light shining around me that they seen it. And I just walked right past them. I went into the room I was trying to go in, and I sat down, and I just felt so good. It just felt so good. It felt so good. Oh, bro, it felt so good. I don't even know how to explain it, man. So I went and sat down, man. I went and sat down, and my higher self was teaching me all this information about different planets and how they're made up, and just all this stuff I didn't even understand. I didn't understand it, but I did as I was being told it. Somehow I understood it. He was talking about like all type of stuff, man. It was just crazy, man. And I could see the visions of the planets that he was showing me and teaching me about. And then I said, okay, you know what, Sam? I'm going to go lay down on this couch, and I'm going to meditate on this so I can remember it for later. And I ended up falling asleep, and I woke up, man, and I forgot everything that it had taught me. But it's all good, though, because one day I'm going to get back to that. Got to be in that state of unconditional love, man. So now how that correlates with the Holy Spirit is, I think that's why they run around and act crazy, because they feel that same vibration I felt, but with they higher self, and they just felt so good. They felt so confident. They didn't care what nobody thought. And when you do that, you got to find some way to release that energy. I did it by sleeping. I said, you know what, I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna lay down. You know what I'm saying? Now they go and run around the church, especially when that music start playing. If I had music playing too, I'd have probably been dancing too. So that's what I think the Holy Spirit is. They feel that higher self within them rise up, and they feel all that confidence. And just think about that, man. It's usually older people that feel that. Now think about that. They lived in a time where there was much racism going on, much drama going on, a lot of scene drama. Now a lot of it's covered up, and a lot of oppression was going on. Now just imagine if you went through all of that oppression and hatred, and then all of a sudden you've been freed from that. All of a sudden that's been eradicated from you. You're gonna be so excited, man, that you're gonna want to just get up and just dance and just do what you're gonna do to savor that moment. And I think that's what they do. They be getting that higher self up in church and be in that church going ham. And that's what I think it be, man. So all y'all judging that, man, y'all got to stop judging, man, and let folks do what they gonna do. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap this video up now. I hope y'all understand how to be y'all's higher self and how to overcome y'all's lower self with unconditional love. It's easy, but it's hard at the same time, because we got so much hatred out here and so much not truth out here. But it's all good though, because you got to look within yourself. All the truth is within yourself, so there's no reason to even look outside yourself, because outside is filled with what? A bunch of lies, because there is no outside. So keep y'all's head up, man. Keep searching for that unconditional love. All my subscribers on here, I love y'all. Y'all on this video for a reason. I asked the archangels to protect this channel and make sure that the right people come to this channel who want to learn something and want to help themselves, and to keep all the people who are not here for the greatest good of all to not be on my channel. And one time I almost stopped this channel, but through my mentor, who is a psychic and can talk to archangels and stuff, Archangel Michael himself, and the Egyptian Pharaoh and the Egyptian god Akhenaten, told me to not stop doing my videos, man. So I kept on pushing, and here I am. So I hope y'all learned the lessons y'all want to learn. I used to be in a state of thinking that everybody knew what I knew, because I thought when we hit that 2012 shift, everybody hit it and was learning all the stuff I was learning. But I keep seeing that not everybody is even learning it. So it's really exciting to see that I'm actually helping people to learn this stuff. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up and shut up talking. I love y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. My audience. I will see y'all next time. I really like that name too. Tell me if y'all like that. So anyway, I'm out, y'all. See y'all next time. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, everything, and spread the video around. Let this channel grow so we can start showing the world how to reach that unconditional love. Okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm excited about it, and I thank y'all for watching this video. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.